Monkeys Fighting Robots Nation, welcome to the first ever episode of Zombie Monkeys, where we talk about everything zombie. This week we're talking about The Walking Dead. Real quick note, if you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button below, like, comment. I'll personally respond to all the comments because I love talking about The Walking Dead and zombies. And just in general, thank you for watching. Just in case you were worried that I didn't know anything about zombies, the way this show will operate when we're talking about the Walking Dead TV show is 1, we'll talk about what worked, 2, we'll talk about what didn't work, 3, we'll talk about the zombies because I always love the makeup and what crazy things are going on, and then 4, we'll talk about theories like what's going to happen, who's going to die, all that craziness.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
This week on The Walking Dead, we're 1 week away from the season finale. So this is supposed to be the build-up to the build-up to the build-up kind of thing. And you had some Alexandrians go off looking for guns. You had Sasha with Negan. And then you had the surprise at the end. And you had the female island. Lots of crazy stuff going on. And you know what really worked for me that kind of like jarred me right from the beginning was the time hop. I was not expecting that at all. There was the way last episode ended and you heard stuff that was going on, and then the way it jumped to this one, I was like, oh, what happened? Did I miss an episode? Did I have to go back? And it got my brain thinking right away, so I really enjoyed the time hop. I thought that worked really well. What also works well all the time is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is an amazing actor, and he brings across a level of acting that you don't normally get. So when you're watching The Walking Dead and he comes on, I'm like, I actually enjoy watching the villain because he's the best actor on camera and he always loves giving good speeches. It reminds me of James Spader during like Boston Legal days when he would come on screen and just give a phenomenal speech. And that's what Negan does. Negan's all about the speech and the grandioso and the events and just making emotions be felt. And Morgan, just amazing what he does. The other thing that worked really well in this episode that balanced off of Jeffrey Dean Morgan was Sasha and her being in the cell with Rapey Dave, which was creepy right away. Like, I was watching this with my wife, and we're just like, oh, this is going to take a dark twist right now. And then Negan comes in and gives his grandiose speech, and then Rapey Dave bites the big one. And I don't know if you can put a knife through the neck right there. I don't know if that's possible. I've never done that before, but it went in really easily, and I don't know. I feel like there's stuff there. I feel like my neck and the bones would have gotten away. But, you know, whatever happens, you know. But Rapey Dave, gone twice. Once in the neck, once in the forehead. No more Rapey Dave. But Sasha went down a really dark path, which she's always been going down. But now we're at the point of no return, and the balance that she played with Negan and just the silence that she had and just commanded that scene was just brilliant. And then later on in the episode, the exchange between her and Eugene is great television. And then you see that twist at the end and you're like, oh, this is going to lead up to something amazing in the season finale. We hope. This was one element of the show that built up to that season finale grandiosity thing that we were hoping for. The third thing that worked really well was the Maggie-Gregory dynamic that was going on, all while she's just picking some berries and doing some gardening. This is going to be interesting because Gregory wants to maintain this world that he has in the hilltop and keep everything he's got going. And he wants to maintain the Savior's relationship. And then Maggie wants to fight and she wants to keep this thing going, you know, down the path that Rick and her have chosen. And this could be an interesting tension-building element to the show, or it could be the worst part of the show. Like, I was like, Gregory is such a wuss. Like, he's not going to do anything. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to pull out my knife and I might do something. And then you put a zombie in front of him. He's like, oh, I don't know what to do. But you can see that there's like a male-female dynamic there. It's just so many levels of goodness that's going to happen, but if it gets played out so long through all of next season, I'm just going to hate it because I'm going to be like, somebody just killed Gregory. I already want Gregory to die. Like, he's one of those characters that just needs to go. And he serves no purpose. We know where this is going to go. We can see how it's going to go there. But you could have some amazing tension moments build up, but don't play it out too long, guys. What didn't work this episode was the build-up. The big build-up. Yes, the Sasha build-up worked because you know that she's going to, like, unibomb herself and just, explode. Something's going to explode with her. But with Rick and the troops and the war and the battle, you're like, I don't know what's going to happen this episode or next episode. I feel like they're going to, in the season finale, just kind of continue to progress, and then at the end, somebody's going to shoot a gun, and then it's going to happen. And you're like, now I have to wait all summer long for what happens in the next season. And no, I want a good closure to this season and then launching point into next season. That's what I want. And I'm really worried that they're going to be a lot of talking, a lot of moving. It's not going to be as bad as last season where they were in the Winnebago for 90 minutes and then nothing happened. So I think we're going to get a little bit more than we got with the Winnebago of last year because I think they've learned from that. But still, I was really excited because when we deal with shows like Game of Thrones, that was like that episode right before the season finale is usually an epic buildup where you're like, oh my God, and then they just keep going. From there, you didn't get that this episode, and that is what didn't work for me. What also didn't work, and is another character that just needs to go, is Dwight. Dwight has no purpose. He's that foil for Daryl, and he wants to be Daryl, but we have Daryl, and Daryl's free, and now it's on to the battle, and Dwight is just this weaselly heel that just needs to go. His storyline is played out, and he just needs to go. So just kill off Dwight in the season finale, and that will make me happy. As far as the zombies this episode, there wasn't a lot of zombie action, but the Pirates of the Caribbean barnacle zombies was amazing. The detail in the opening shot, and you saw the boat in the background, and I'm walking up, you're like, oh, and I was like, oh, look at all the barnacles, and like you saw like gills, and it was just the way you knew that these zombies came from the water and they've survived for a while, and then there's the way they worked. Greg Nicotero always has a great attention to detail when it comes to the zombie elements, whether it's, cold zombies, water zombies, frozen zombies, you name it. Greg Nicotero is a zombie genius when it comes to makeup. Thoroughly enjoyed the barnacle zombies. This is going to be my favorite part of the episode each week when we talk about The Walking Dead is theories. What's going to happen? Who's going to die? Who's going to live? How's it going to go down? Where's Carol? What's Carol going to do? How is she going to enter in with Morgan? And how is this all going to line up? And this is going to be the battle scene. She's going to approach hopefully at the same time that the guns start blazing and next week. And I'm hoping that she comes in and whacks a few people here and there. And you just be like, oh my God, the cavalry's here. And Carol, gonna do some great stuff. So good. So excited for her entrance and her return. And can't wait for it. Other theories is who's going to die. The odds-on favorite is Sasha, that she's just going to go out in a blaze of glory trying to kill Negan or trying to take out as many people as possible. I can see this going on. I mean, because this lovely actress, she's going to be in the Star Trek film or Star Trek TV series that's going to happen with CBS and its wonkiness. But that's a whole other story. We don't talk about Star Trek here. We're talking about zombies here. But she's balanced out some other TV shows during her time on The Walking Dead, so that doesn't guarantee that she's written out as well. But she is the odds-on favorite of just blowing herself up trying to get to Negan. But my wild card on this one is Rosita. I can definitely see Rosita taking the bullet for Sasha, and then you have another guilt evolution going on through there, and that is what I see with who's going to get killed. It's either going to be Sasha or Rosita. Rosita's my wild card. Sasha's the odds-on favorite. People that I want to die, we've already established this. Dwight, I can see Eugene dying as well, and then Gregory. Those are the three guys that I'm just like, I'm done with you guys. I want to see you guys die. So those are the guys I want to die, but Sasha, I'm going to be very sad. I met her at Walker Stalker Con, and she's a very beautiful lady, very nice, very amazing. I recommend that you all go to Walker Stalker Con and meet her and say hi because she's awesome. Who do you think is the snitch? Who's the heel that's been in hiding the whole entire time. I think it's Enid. I think that she is Negan's daughter. I've thought this theory for the past 2+ seasons since she showed up. I was like, oh, she's connected to the Saviors somehow. And they've talked about it. But then, like, once they showed Negan, I was like, that's her daughter. And she's been watching Rick and her group tossing information back the whole entire time. I think she's a snitch. And I think that'll be some, like, television finest moments. If they pull off that switcheroo, and then Carl's like, oh, my girlfriend, she's evil. And I think it's going to be brilliant if she is the snitch. And I hope that she goes full evil. I would hate for her to be like, go evil and then come back and then go forward. But who knows how that's going to work out. But I'm predicting that she is the snitch. Gregory is the smart choice to be the snitch. And then there's a few other people that are in there that could be like, oh, that was interesting, but like nobody cares about those other people, so it doesn't really matter. Who do you think is gonna die? Comment below, like just put it down there, because then your writing is there, and then if you're right, I'm gonna be like, hey Dave, you picked it right. Gregory was gonna die, and I gotta give you props because you're the smart Walking Dead fan of the week. So comment. That's what you gotta do. And I think that puts the first episode of Zombie Monkeys in the books, my friends. I will see you next week after the season finale of The Walking Dead. This is Monkeys Fighting Robots, and I'm Matt Sardo.